Welcome back to the Joe Show. Earlier this week, I made a trip out to the Clear Fork Valley to check on Coach Scott Sellers and the Lady Colts as they prepare for the home stretch of the regular season, looking for a return trip to the district finals and beyond.
Okay, so we're here with Scott Sellers, head coach of the Clear Fork Lady Colts. Currently, I believe I've got this correct, you're 10-3 overall.
10-5 right now.
Excuse me, 10-5 overall.
Yep.
6-3 in the MOAC.
That's right.
And one of the things that coming to watch practices with, I guess, doing this new gig that I'm doing is it's good to kind of see what coaches do and also kind of find out a little bit about coaches' background. So the one thing I know is you played here at Clear Fork because, you were one of the guys on my scouting report that I always had to kind of highlight. So after playing here and having a very successful career here, kind of what brought you back to Clear Fork to lead the girls program?
Well, I'll say this first. You're doing a great job in this new role. OH report, well done. Story about Coach Balogh just growing up is, he was the guy that everybody knew. You had the program that we all knew. Ontario's the reason why I got up and I think worked as hard as I did. So I should say thank you because you guys made a lot of teams better. When it comes to coming back here, I think I've always loved the game. I've always loved basketball. This is where I'm from. I moved from here for quite a few years for some military stuff and some stuff that I was doing outside of, just being in this community. And I just had a passion for the game. The girls' job came open, and I'd never had any head coaching experience, but the AD at the time, Jeff Gottfried, gave me an interview, gave me a chance. I basically said, hey, I won't let you down. And 3 years later, here I am coaching in my third year, and it's been wonderful.
So you played, you kind of did a lot of other things, came back to coach, and I came right out of college, and that's what I wanted to do was coach. And one of the things I remember is that, the college guy I coached with at Ohio Northern, Gail Doherty, said, Joe, you need to kind of have a philosophy how you would like to play. So maybe kind of in the short term here, kind of what's your philosophy of how you would like to see your Clear Fork Colt program play?
When I think about that, and I tell the parents this at the beginning of the year, I value winning over seniority. If a kid's a freshman and they can play, then they're going to play. But I value culture over winning. We try to do things the right way when it comes to preparation, how they do in the classroom, what they're doing in the community. Things that they do on and off the floor are just as important as they do, when people are in the stands. I push them hard to get that way. So, from that perspective, I think culture is number one with just how we do things. And then it's, I say our only real goal as a team is to go undefeated in effort. We lose a couple of those last year. I think we've lost one of those this year in effort. But for the most part, that's been there. You make shots, you miss shots, and we just pride ourselves on defense. We spend a lot of time on defense. We're pretty small this year, and we're having a good run. We're playing some really good quality teams, and it's been a great season for us.
I had as I look back, I had a lot of influences in my coaching career, going from my high school coach to, studying guys like Bob Knight, Mike Krzyzewski, and then, the high school coaches I coached with and against were Rob Sheldon and Dave Freilich, those kind of guys. So kind of who's been influences in your coaching career?
I think it starts with Biddy ball. Your parents and my dad coached me a little bit. A guy named Jeff Palmer. I played on the 4th and 5th grade team. Played about a minute a game, and it was that lesson that I got then, which was if you're not good enough, go make yourself a little bit better. That always mattered to me. Coach Parrott, Coach Staub in middle school. And then really a guy that I still talk to a lot is Coach Logston, who you know very well, and Coach Todd Martin, who's the superintendent over at the Crawford School System. Those guys have went from, and I still call them coach, from my coaches and mentors and leaders to good friends of mine. I love both of those guys. I ended up playing college basketball for a guy at Iowa West named Gene Mahaffey, and since then it's, how can I meet people and talk to people like you? Or, I got a buddy that coaches the CJ men's team this year. His name's Charlie Zabo. They got a really good team. We'll bounce back and forth ideas. There's guys in the area like, Tyler Bates or Abram Capel or Natalie Lance that, you have good relationships with these people. They try to come in and beat you as much as they can, but if I ask some of those individuals questions, they do answer, whether it's scouting or philosophy stuff. So, it's a nice brotherhood that you know, kind of have, which you know, you forgot more about this than I know. So really lucky in that aspect. But the two biggest are definitely Kevin Longson and Todd Martin.
It's interesting you bring up the kind of the coaching fraternity, because being an old coach, my concern is that you never want to lose that fraternity. I think, you know, we always, I mean, everybody, you know, when you talk Ontario Winford, they would talk about the Joe Balogh, Rob Sheldon intensity and all that, but they didn't know that before a game we were laughing and joking, and after the game we were laughing and joking again. So it's good to hear that kind of stuff that's still going on. So
well, and sometimes so like our coach Logston, Tri-Way's a big rival.
Oh yes.
I don't know that they joked after stuff, but that was cool too. I
Yeah,
think that
well,
when we got in that gym, it was a great time.
There's some coaches that we don't like either, but. So you've been in this for 3 years. What's been your favorite part about coaching?
Yeah, these the girls are incredible when it comes to. If you'd have told me 3 years ago, if I had the choice between doing both, let's just say boys or girls, it probably would have, you know, I wouldn't have known any better than, you know, hey, boys, that's all I've known. You know, now, I mean, these kids are in here on a holiday. They're going to work hard. They continue to work hard. We get in the weight room in April. They've committed to everything that we've asked them to do. And so I'm really appreciative of that fact, how hard they work when they have school and, you know, other sport commitments and just life stuff. And I've been kind of blown away just with that commitment level that I've seen, not just with these guys, but, you know, my youth coaches and the youth teams and some of that energy we're stirring up. So it's just been phenomenal.
Let's flip it 180. Is there a least favorite part that you kind of?
I don't like telling about coaching.
Yes.
I don't like giving kids bad news. You know, I don't like cutting kids. I don't like disappointing, you know, a kid that's worked all summer or did whatever, and then you don't play them a lot. That can be tough in some aspects. There was a kid last year, she's on the floor now. She's having a great season. She's going to let her. As a junior, she didn't let her, and she came to all this stuff. And so that was hard for me last year, but I think it brings you closer to them as well. And but that's probably my least favorite stuff.
Well, and the hard part of coaching sometimes is telling a kid no, or telling them that, hey, you're just not quite good enough to do it. But like you said, though, kind of early in your playing career, you kind of learned that, hey, if I'm not good enough, I got to work a little bit harder. So
well, and some of those lessons, like from, you know, Coach Logston, who I can call now or text now, and he'll jump on the phone and talk. You know, these guys, I tell them, if I get invited to your wedding, I think I've probably done a pretty good job. Like that's about the benchmark that I'm going for, because that, you know, I was cutting first cousins at my wedding, so if I get invited to those, I think we've done pretty well here.
You've kind of already mentioned it, but you know, what do you really like about this team though this year? What's kind of separates them?
We went from being a post-present 6'4" Becca Conrad, you know, she was a third team All-Ohio last year, to, you know, our tallest kid is 5'9". So you adapt, you know, some systems and philosophies based off of what you have. We kind of had to tweak a lot of things we did offensively. We're able to get a little bit more aggressive defensively, you know. But this team, they took that, you know, district final run where we lost to, you know, a historic Shelby team, went 21-5, and you know, they bounced back, and we really loaded up the schedule this year. They've competed in all of those games, you know, against Bellevue, and Senior, and Shelby, and everybody else. And you know, they've been really resilient this year, and I'm happy to see it because of how hard I know that they've worked.
Well, and you just mentioned several of the teams that are going to be the top teams as you go into your tournament draw here in a
well,
couple
the
weeks.
D2, they're loaded. You know, with Norwalk and Bellevue and Senior, so I follow that. You know, we dropped to
that's
Division
right.
3
You guys
this
are
year,
Division 3 this year. That's correct.
So there's you know, a little bit different there, but again, we're prepping and we're getting ready for it now.
Well, really appreciate it. Wish you the best of success.
Thanks, Coach.
Congratulations.
Doing a great job.
Thanks.
Thank you.